Hi, everyone. My name is Kristen Vincent, GIS Manager for the City of De Pere and current WLIA Board Member. Welcome to this segment of the WLIA Committee Spotlight Series. I'm joined today by Kim Christman, current WLIA President. Thanks for being here today, Kim.
Thanks for having me.
First, can you tell us a little bit about who you are? What do you do?
Well, like you said, I'm Kim Christman. I work for Racine County. I'm the property lister for the county. I've been in some capacity working there since for 24 years. I started as the cartographer way back when. And over the years, with retirements and jobs kind of merging, here I am today, the property lister and GIS manager for the county. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Perfect. So the role of president is part of the presidential track with WLIA. Can you explain a little bit about what that is and how you came into your position?
Okay, I wrote this down so I don't sound like a dum-dum. Alrighty. So for the presidential track, you have to be a board member for at least 2 years to be an eligible candidate to be on the ballot.
Okay.
And then it's a 4-year commitment, essentially, to be on the president track. The president-elect year is your first year. You're the chair of the annual conference committee, and you are active on the board as well. And if the current president needs you to step in, they would go to the president-elect initially to step in, like say they can't be at a meeting or something like that. But the main capacity is this, like the main lift for that year is the annual conference, which is scary for some people. But there's a huge committee that's behind that person, so it doesn't need to be scary. And I actually thought it was a fun part of the process. And then your president year, you're in charge of the meetings. You're the face of the organization, so you have that sort of responsibility. So it doesn't like calm down from your president-elect year, but it's different. And having been on the board at least 2 years, it's not like brand new things, which is nice, which is a good requirement for being on the presidency. Then that third year, you're the past president, and you are an advisory to the president-elect, and the new board members. That person also is doing the awards, scholarships, and nominations committees. So you're doing some other stuff, looking to like expand the organization, and also just helping guide people that have questions. And then that fourth year, you're just active on the WLIA Foundation. And as president and past president, you were also involved in that foundation as well.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that information.
Yeah.
So for someone who is unfamiliar with WLIA, what are the goals of the organization? And what specifically is WLIA?
Okay. So we're a grassroots organization representing a collection of concerned professionals working to develop, maintain, and apply a network of statewide land information systems. We are united in the interest in land record modernization, GIS, and I wrote this down so I don't sound dum-dum, related technologies, and by the need for governmental policies and programs that support their efficient and effective application. So essentially land records across the state. And land information. We're a group of people that are made up of county government, local government, state government. There's some federal, tribal, the private sector, utilities. It's all sorts of players in the game that are going to benefit from having an organization that's pushing for good land information. And it's been something that's been growing. Obviously, we're coming in as it's an established organization. I started kind of being active in WLIA in the late 90s as a student, and it's so different, but also like just a great organization. There's something for everybody and what level of professional development you're at, and yeah. So goals-wise, I think it's a moving target. It's what's going on right now. We have phases of the statewide parcels. We had the phase of Next Gen 911. Now we're into like dealing with privacy stuff. there's always something going on that we're trying to just make it so that it's good for everybody and we're not going backwards with our process and information being out there. That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I guess more specifically, how are geospatial issues monitored and addressed?
Well, we've got several committees within WLIA that are focused on unique things that help with collecting observations. We've got that legislative committee working on things happening at the state level and things that will be moved to the state level. We have education committee that organizes different events that we're here at this hotel for today throughout the year. That there's getting input from membership by way of speaker presentations. We have the membership and outreach committee that attends other organization events to communicate what WLIA is and hear what's going on with those organizations. We've tried to have a varied representation of membership on the board of directors who can share their different experiences, and we work with other land information associations around the state to stay informed. We've got WLIC, which is the Wisconsin Land Information Council, and LION, which is the Land Information Officers Network meetings that happen at our events as well, to keep everyone up to date with those organizations.
Great. So you sort of touched on this a little bit with partnerships and collaborations with other organizations. Can you elaborate on maybe a few more of those?
Yeah, so other state organizations that we work with would be the Wisconsin Register of Deeds Association, or WRDA. There's the Wisconsin Real Property Listers Association, or WRPLA. The acronyms are fun. WSLS, which is Wisconsin Society of Land Surveyors. And then obviously WLIC, Land Information Council, and LION, Land Information Officers Network. There are probably others I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that came to mind right away. So we have representation from some of those on the board right now. And then we have kind of past board members that have been involved for those groups, and we try to attend those their conferences if it works our schedule and they obviously have a spot where we can come. And Wisconsin Counties Association is another one that we try to stay involved with, and they work with them a lot when different legislative things going on. I think that's it, if I remember.
Great, yeah. Well, it's a good problem to have, but there are so many.
Right.
What do you see as the value of having these partnerships to enhance land records in our industry?
Well, I think that every organization's got some sort of a focus, and with the Register of Deeds or property lister or surveyor, you're in your professional lane essentially. Things that come up that are issues with those particular groups, we as an association, if we're not talking to them or we don't have that representation, we're maybe missing something that we can assist with. It takes a village to make it great, and I think that's what we are, is we're doing great things by including everybody's perspective. We're also not maybe pushing forth an agenda that would be negatively impacted on a group like that, different group. So I think those are just like, it's good to hear more from other organizations.
Yes, definitely. Why do you think it's valuable to have an organization like WLIA?
Well, I think it goes back to we can get the word out to more people about what's happening. If something at the state level legislatively is going to be passed that has good intentions by whoever drafted said legislation, they don't necessarily understand how things get implemented and could be causing a domino effect of problems at a local level. So things like that, WLIA assists with trying to get the word out to all the people that are members or are, by association of someone in their organization, they're hearing about it at their employment location. That we're getting the word out so that things don't get missed. And also, it's like a collaborative, fun sort of encouragement for professional development. Like going and seeing what someone is doing and learning from that at a conference or watching a webinar it helps us professionally, I think, get the creative juices flowing. And sometimes you get like so tunnel visioned on your daily work that you don't think outside the box about a solution that maybe somebody's doing in a county across the state. And you're like, well, I could do that. That would work for said problem. And it's just like one of those aha moments, I think. I encourage with those organizations to something like WLIA, it encourages that. And also we get more exposure to the up and comers that you maybe would never see. So, yeah.
Yeah, great. So you sort of touched on this a little bit, but what does WLIA mean to you?
That's a loaded question. Besides the actual what the acronym is, I don't know. I feel like it's a family. Over the years, like I said, I started being active in this organization in 1999, probably, as a student, and I went, I'll go volunteer, and I get to go and be with the big kids and go sort of vibe like I don't have a professional type job yet, and that was an experience, and I walked into that and kind of went, this is like over my head, and I'm feeling intimidated as heck, and this is crazy. And then move into a professional job, and they were active in WLIA. I got very lucky in that regard. That first position I was in, I interned with Damon Anderson, which is our scholarship is based off of, is in memory of him. That was a huge influence as well. He was a mentor and just a great person. So I feel like that it's like ingrained in me to want to be a part of this organization from my professional infancy to now. It feels like a group I can come to, and even with new people involved, I feel like I'm getting something out of it. You get a good ROI on this. Coming to these organization events, you get what you want out of it. If you want to come and focus on a certain topic, there's probably something here for you. I just feel like, yeah, it's family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So how can someone get involved in WLA?
Oh, well, volunteer, hey. I think like a good starting point for me was being involved in an event planning. So I think I started being active besides the student time. Back, there's a gap in there when you get your first job. You don't always get to go to stuff. And so there was a gap there where I didn't get to go to a lot of meetings. But as I was able to start volunteering, I think I did the annual conference. It was either an annual conference or I actually think it was an education committee. But it was an event planning thing. And you kind of step into those meetings. Now they're all on Zoom, the planning stuff. So you can volunteer even if you can't make the event. You start to see the inner workings, the behind the curtain sort of feeling and understand like what goes into it. That's an easy one. If you're not really into planning events and you don't want to be like, into a lot of people and maybe are introverted and don't like that stuff, but you really have a passion for the technical standards or legislative stuff, there's committees out there that you can join, and it's literally logging into a Zoom meeting. So it's not a big ask for your employer to say, I want to be a member of this committee. You're setting aside maybe an hour, a couple hours to attend a meeting once a month or a couple weeks. It depends on what's going on with the issues, but I'd recommend like just trying it out. You can go in, listen, and if it's not for you, then there's no harm to say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. So that's what I'd encourage everyone to do is check it out. Like we try to be as transparent as possible with meetings. So if you have questions, there's contact information on the website for who it is. Obviously you can reach out to me as well. And yeah, I think just join and see what's going on.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. So thank you for being here today, Kim. And thanks everyone for watching. And if you wanted to find contact information on our website, that would be at WLIA.org. Thank you.
Thank you.